Hello guys, we're here with Sven Rebmann, who unfortunately, his top 32 curse, German nationals, continues. Oh man, okay, but nonetheless, congrats on your performance, Sven, and the stage is yours.
Yeah, we played Memento again, as usual. This time, not the full Fiendsmith version, but also not the pure version, a hybrid version of both with the one engraver main. Spoiler alert. But at first, huge shoutouts to our new sponsorship with cardmark.com. Check them out, and obviously check out our UG Academy, where you can test with us, you can learn with us, and most importantly, you get all of our masterclasses and guides for free if you join us. So check it out. And here's the microphone. Let's start simple with the non-engine. 9 hand traps, Fuvanos, kind of mandatory. Purulia, there were some thoughts about siding Purulia and manning meows, but in the end it's more generic, so yeah, you don't have to risk that meows does nothing, and Purulia at least gives you an upside goblin. And the best one of all those is Droll right now, skips all those turns, especially against Mitsu. So those 9 are mandatory. I did not run 9 Charmies, because in my opinion Droll is way better than any of those Charmies. And in the end, if you run 12 going second hand traps, then that would be absolutely insane. So those 9 and 3 Super Poly. This card wasn't that good, to be fair. In theory it was way better, and in testing was way better. But in the tournament this weekend, I'll just activate it like 3 times or 4 times. It progresses your match against Mitsurugi, of course. If you play against Pure, then this is an absolutely FTK if you time it right, well. But other than that, most of the decks just doesn't care right now. So, and on the other hand, activating it to play if I bricked or stuff like that, so I can fusion my own Momento monsters into a Twin Dragon or stuff like that, never happened as well. So I don't regret it, but I think there could be other options than this. Maybe Droplet, or maybe one of the best going second cards in existence, but I'll tell you in the side deck. So, the Memento cards.
Achtung Duellanten, der Final Mega Challenge befindet euch jetzt im Timeout.
Mandatory.
Der Final Mega Challenge befindet euch jetzt im Timeout.
3 Darkblade. I don't want to cut any of those because it's one of the best starters in your deck, and if you brick, you can't play either. So why would you not run multiple normal summons to ensure that you have at least one play? Because my only real loss in Swiss was in day 1 when I bricked back to back, and other than that I haven't lost anything. The other loss was because I wasn't allowed to enter the battle phase, so I would have wanted this either. Same to the top 32 match, I lost in time because I did an insane misplay. So full consistency, more consistency because we play 3 breakout, so 2 goblin is mandatory, also 1 card starter, mandatory, and the bad cards, those you don't want to see, and if you brick, then all of those 3 are in your hand. I'll show you that, and this is probably also with them, and then you cannot play. But otherwise than that, those cards are absolutely insane. And why the 1 engraver? At first I wanted to run the full Fiendsmith engine with 3 engraver, track, Lurie, because then you play through everything. But in the end, everyone's playing 3 Droll right now main, so I didn't want to have a bad matchup against Droll out of the sudden, because normally you don't care at all about Droll, and having some engravers in your hand with, after you normal summoned Anguish and Search and get Drolled, doesn't make any sense. So 1 engraver, so you can ensure that you have some Fiendsmith plays and can end off Caesar, which is really important against the Mitsu matchup, because if you don't end on Caesar, then he probably will break your board. You need to make sure that you don't die, because if you die, then the game is over. But if you don't die, then next turn you will win probably. But if you end with Caesar, then in most cases he cannot break your end board. So that's the reason. That's for the monsters. Spells.
Achtung, Duellanten, ihr habt noch ungefähr 30 Minuten Zeit, euch für ein On-Demand-Event anzumelden. Wenn ihr heute noch ein Event spielen wollt, habt ihr noch 30 Minuten Zeit, euch an der Pump
Same story as Free Dark Blade.
Danach wird es keine Möglichkeit mehr geben, noch ein Event heute zu spielen.
Field spell in 1-for-1. Another starter. So, as you can see, it's kind of the most consistent version right now. You could discuss about playing too sleepy maybe, but other than that, 1-for-1 was okay. I activated like 2 times or stuff like that. But if you can activate it, then it's obviously nice. Because in most cases the Ash was baited in before and 1-for-1 goes through and then you go full combo afterwards. So that's for the main. 40 cards, clean, as usual. Extra deck. Fiendsmith cards, Caesar, as I said, for Mitsu, for kind of everything except the Raziel decks. But as so many players choose to play pure Mitsurugi, this was an obvious choice that I have to run somehow an engine who can end on the Caesar additionally. This is the Caesar engine in the end. And also sequence in Desiree. Does not make any sense. So, shit on that. But sequence in the end makes sense because of a way better card than Desiree, the Duke of the Mice. So with the 1 engraver in your main deck, you can also have the line you could have when you play full Fiendsmith, when you normal summon Anguish, special summon the horse, and most of your opponents, if they play some low impact cantrips, they will imperm or ash your horse and not your Anguish, and because they do not think that you run Fiendsmith cards. In that scenario, you can go into Moon, Engraver, Sequence, special the Duke of the Mice, and you have 1 additional normal summon to play along. Otherwise, you would have just passed your turn with nothing. So this was really handy. Came up like 4 times or 5 times. Because as you've seen, I play a high count of normal summons, and in that scenario, it's likely that you have 2 normal summons in your hand. And in that scenario, this is just mandatory. And some staples. Staple. Super poly targets. No Dragon Stapelia, because it's Desiree.
Achtung, Duellanten, das Team-Battle 3 gegen 3.
The last 2 cards are
Hells für die
Chimera.
4. und letzte Runde sind jetzt online.
Came more often than I thought it would come, because especially at the Mitsurugi matchup, if they out somehow drop it or stuff like that, Caesar, then you want to have some additional play. And Chimera pop 2 cards is also really nice. So absolutely right choice. The last card is something for time, because if they read your cards like 50 minutes per match, then you have to play Agave Dragon. Okay, I'll end the discussion on that. Okay, that's for extra deck. Good. Side deck. The world's cleanest side deck. Except of 1 card, maybe. Okay, starting with the free Meowths, mandatory. Free Lancia, mandatory, super mandatory, because I played against 1 Menace. So it was absolutely mandatory.
But you did side them in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So the 3 not that clean cards. The best cards going first, I guess. Called by Grave, triple tactic talents, and right from the beginning, I tell ya, it was the flex spot. And we had to play any cards which can always be sided going first, generically sided going first. So it's the Memento continuous spell, not the pop card. In the end, it's just a brick. Nah, yeah, I think that there are better options than that. Even Skill Drain was way better in the regional season than this going first, because sometimes you draw it and you cannot combo, so it does not progress you in any way. And if you have it on the board, then you can also out it. So does not make any sense. Those two cards are really good. And so the deciding pattern is those 3 cards against 3 Charmies, and the other 3 Charmies going first for Heatwave. I mean, it's obvious, generic, going first every time you side the Heatwaves. And if you see more than 1 engine card, then you activate Heatwave, set the engine card. Next turn, you flip the engine card, and you have 2 normal summons basically, and play against empty board. And so right now everyone's playing like 9 Charmies or stuff like that, no low impact hand traps anymore, so you don't give a F about all those Charmies, and you go just full combo and OTK him. You can even give him like 15 draws. Don't give a F about that, because with those all are Charmies, then you will kill him probably. So Heatwave, set monster, next turn, flip, go into Fiendsmith cards to bait his Nibiru, and then OTK. Happened like 4 times, maybe 4 times. So absolutely correct, going first, generic, why not? So always those 6 cards against 6 Charmies. Last card, the best card of my side deck this weekend, Gordian Slicer. This was absurd, absolutely crazy. You activate this against Mitsurazir, game 2, game 3 in that scenario. You just bounce his whole board. You can banish like 12 cards from extra deck and just keep your Memento, 3 Memento cards. And those are 2 bounces, and you can additionally banish 1 or 2 from your hand, so you have like 4 bounces, and you cannot negate it. So this was absolutely insane. Also against random matchups, you just activate this. This is like a fusion of Super Poly and drop it into a steroid card. It was absolutely crazy. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you at the UG Academy.